Hey guys, thanks so much for joining us here on Facebook. I'm Evan Onstadt with KC24. This is probably the most atypical newscast you're ever going to see in your life. We're not on the air. That's because we can't be on the air. We've had a power outage. In fact, in just the last 20 minutes, I think these lights came back on. If you saw my Facebook Live video earlier today, in which I was walking through this place looking like a medieval dungeon, we've seen some progress since then, and I can say that we'll have a live morning show for you here in the morning. And the programs on your television are going to pop on again here pretty soon. But as far as a newscast at 11, this is as far as we're going to get. And it's all because of just an incredible amount of rain that we got here today, pretty much just right here. And to talk about that, let's go talk to John Schrabel. He's in this week for AJ Fox. John, you've been hanging out, dealing with this like everybody else. You've been the guy that when we went to him, we're like, what in the world how much rain are we getting? And the answer was a lot.
Yeah, we got a lot of rain, and you can blame all this on Mother Nature today because you can see the detrimental impact that all this rain truly did have here at the station. And many of you watching right now are probably like, I didn't see any rain. What are you talking about? But here in Southeast Fresno, we got a lot of it. Just take a look up here. This is a picture from earlier today, right out from our parking lot. These two girls were making their way from church, which they told me was flooded. Again, this was a very isolated area of rain. Many of you saw scenes more like this. This is a picture from Madera this past afternoon. What you can see in this picture, though, are some thunderheads looming in the distance. Those a telltale sign of what exactly we saw overhead here in Southeast Fresno. Now, the cool thing about where the rain was placed is it was right over the airport. And that means that all those sensors at the airport picked up on just how much we got. We got 1 3/4 inches in the period of just 1 hour. Our rainfall total from today, right on 2 inches. No numbers after that, straight on 2 inches. A one-day record for rainfall. And just look at the difference in surrounding communities. Yosemite sure did get a lot, almost an inch of precipitable moisture, while Merced and Visalia, hardly any rain. Merced, you're checking in with 1/1600ths of an inch today. Satellite and radar shows that rain that moved through earlier really concentrated earlier today in Southeast Fresno. But once it cleared out, yeah, it cleared out. And then we looked at actually clearing skies across the entirety of the valley. That's the way we will continue to be tonight. After such heavy rainfall today, isolated, looks like we're in for a nice and clear holiday weekend ahead. As for current temperatures, we're in the 50s. Fresno sitting at 52 degrees right now. Futurecast shows that these dry and clear skies, they're going to last with us for a few more days. Everyone's got their eyes on Easter, though. You can see an increase in cloud cover on Sunday, but initially we'll stay dry. Here's 10 a.m. on Easter Sunday. An increase in cloud cover, that's certainly noteworthy, but those showers that we'll see eve of Sunday won't be making their way in just yet. Let's advance a little bit. Now at 4 p.m., we start to see some foothills and coastal range showers. This will be the time that you maybe want to have your Easter egg hunts done, because after that, we start to see our chance of rainfall rise after sunset, and that will be leading us into Monday morning to start your next work week off with some rainfall. 40s for evening lows tonight. Throw on those jackets as you're getting outside. Fresno dropping to 44 tonight. Madera down to 41. Merced down to 44. Los Banos down to 42. Moving on to tomorrow, daytime highs very similar to today. Now, even though temperatures will be very similar, that's about the only thing alike between today and what tomorrow is going to be like. You're going to have crystal clear skies for your Good Friday. Overall, some great travel weather if you are traveling to see your family. Of course, got to talk a little bit more about Easter. 73 degrees on Easter Sunday. Get outside and do those Easter egg hunts in the morning, because as we move into the afternoon, guess what's going to happen? We're going to be looking at the approach of showers that'll, for the most part, impact us after sunset, but really watch out for them after 4 p.m. Staying dry through the weekend until that point, and then once we do see those showers, they'll last through Monday, Tuesday, before clearing out Wednesday into Thursday. So definitely good news there, Evan, regarding Easter just around the corner. We don't want an Easter Sunday that has rain like we saw today. I don't think that would make a lot of people happy.
No, it won't. In fact, there's a church near us that actually got rained out and got flooded as well. So, yeah, we don't want that again.
No,
not for a while.
You know, and seeing all that rain at once, that's not what farmers want, because that runs right off into the Delta. No. We want it to soak in the ground, and a nice steady rainfall is much better.
Hey, thanks a lot, John. Appreciate it. Let's talk some news right now. We're only going to cover really a couple stories here today, but there was a big story as we joined Megan Roop over here. Megan, you actually were covered a bunch of stuff. You were out there for the flooding as well, but you were down there in the South Valley, and you're on a tough story today.
Yeah, a truly tragic story. Two young women in their early 20s swept away into the Tule River that's in Sequoia National Forest. Authorities tell us these women were on a hike with a group of family and friends, and one of them slipped into the river. The second woman jumped in, attempting to save her, and authorities discovered one of those bodies this afternoon after searching that area for several hours, and they're still looking for the second woman's body.
And they don't know who they found as far as if it was the one who jumped in after the friend or if it was the person who went in first.
Nope, they don't know who, but they're still looking. Obviously, the Tulare County Sheriff's Office has taken over that investigation, and they stop at night because what more can they find? But they say they're going to continue this investigation until they find that second victim.
And where exactly were they hiking? It's slippery terrain?
It's a slippery area. It's called the Stairs because there are these stairs you can walk down. It's a beautiful river bed area, but it's rocky, so there's these huge rocks people can climb down on. We had several crews out there. One crew, we were holding down the fort in one area, another crew was up at these rocks. They took pictures. In one of the pictures our coworker took, you could see a person climbing around on these rocks. So obviously it looks like an area that tourists can kind of climb around, have fun. It's common for them to be there.
But obviously dangerous if you're not careful. I mean, we talk about this all the time. You got to be careful this time of year with the water because the water's moving fast. It's obviously incredibly cold. We had those people in a swimming pool raft that had to get that had to get rescued. And
an amazing rescue, and authorities just say always the water looks nice. It looks clear on top. Below, you don't know. And obviously this woman slipped, so she wasn't in playing, but just tragic, and a tragic warning for everyone else to just be careful as the weather warms up.
And I think you've done the mist trail up in Yosemite, where they got the granite steps carved right in there along. And you don't even think about it that much, but it's like those are slick, and it's a big drop off right there. Right. It's almost amazing more people don't get hurt like this. Well, hopefully this ends with maybe we get a bit of a miracle here because, again, they found one person, but they haven't found the second.
They haven't found the second, and again, we don't know which woman it was, but we know hiking in a group, family and friends, happened around 10. After several hours, they discovered this first body. So truly tragic.
The family had to watch that happen themselves.
And there were family members who even drove in, I think. The family was from Bakersfield and was on a hiking trip. So how tragic is that? Our hearts and prayers go out to them.
Yeah, that's a tough one. Megan, thanks so much. Appreciate that. As far as other stories that we're following, there was a major pileup in the South Valley today. 22 cars. Amazingly, nobody was killed. 10 people were taken to the hospital at last check. And another story, everybody knows that Fresno State professor Lars Mychuk teaches history over there at Fresno State. No decision from the university as to exactly what's going to happen. At first, he was defiant, defending himself in his tweets, saying Trump must hang in order to save democracy. Tweeted about a memorial for a Trump assassin. He since apologized, and just the latest thing that we learned today is that Fresno State, even though they haven't decided about the professor overall, they have decided that this next week's classes that he teaches, those have been canceled, and so we'll move forward from there. Lots to keep an eye on. So it can't be a newscast, even a Facebook Live newscast, without some sports, so I'm going to take the long trek back across the studio right now to join Andrew Martin. Andrew, you work all day for putting these sports together, then here you are, you don't have your sports.
We had it at 6, so those stories are up right now at yourcentralvalley.com. We did a great story on the Len Ross Memorial Tournament. We talked about Bobby Cox, grew up in Selma, getting a statue outside of the Atlanta Braves' new facility, and that weather did not actually affect baseball games in the Valley tonight. So Fresno State was able to play, beat Air Force in that series opener 7-5. The Visalia Rawhide at home in their home opener got a victory 5-4 over Inland Empire. And on the road, the Fresno State softball team got a win, and the Fresno Grizzlies got a win for the second night in a row, season high in runs and hits. In the Bigs, Giants and Dodgers both lose, but those are more regional schools and regional teams and not the schools, of course, that we follow here in the Valley.
I never realized how tall you are until I'm standing next to you on television, on Facebook, on whatever. Andrew, thanks so much. Appreciate that. So that just about does it for us. I just want to thank everybody for joining us here today. Normally at the end of every newscast, we have what's called a kicker. But I don't think we have any water skiing squirrels or anything like that right now. But again, we apologize for the blackout that we had. There's seriously nothing that we could have done about it. We had a lot of standing water. We got dumped on again 1.75 inches in just 1 hour's of time today. And as cars continued to drive through there, just the wake of all that just kept putting water into our electrical equipment, apparently, and it just fried us. So we got the lights back on here now, and by the morning we should be able to have a nice newscast for you, and we'll have all your KC24 programs that you look forward to as well. But, hey, thanks for joining us here on Facebook Live. We appreciate it. This is going to stay up for a while, and if this ever happens again, God forbid, we'll do it again. All right, take care. Have a good night.